Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Steve with Sons of Fidelity coming at you very late at 10:36 p.m. February 11th, 2026, in the year of our Lord, Our Lady of Lourdes feast day, among others. Yes, happy Our Lady of Lourdes feast day to yours and you and yours. Let's get to it. Again, I apologize for being tardy, about an hour late. Family, kids. Anyway, let's get right to it. The Fed introduces a new dollar bill. It's a lie, actually. It would be the $100 bill if it was the actually new dollar bill. Anyway, the U.S. House has voted 219 to 211 to end once and future King President DJT's tariffs on Canada. In South Kakalaki, Governor Henry McMaster wants a portion of I-73 or I-73 in general to be named after Donald Trump, and they're on facepalm. Wants a new interstate named after. I didn't even know they were building a new interstate. Let me see where the new interstate's even going. Must be going through Myrtle Beach. Alice Thornton support behind South Carolina's unfinished Interstate 73. Let's see. 73 remains one of the state's largest and most transportation plans. The multi-billion-dollar 80-mile highway linking into North Kakalaki border through rural area PD, running through Rockingham, through. Okay. So it's going pretty much from North Myrtle Beach up through. I know exactly where that's the speedways in Rockingham. See, lawmakers include a $300 million in the state's budget dedicated towards completion of 73. The city and county, you people don't care. I'm reading it because I'm like, yeah, I didn't know South Carolina's getting a new interstate. By the way, South Carolina, when states control interstates, I get it, but the states run the interstate. That's theirs. The federal government doesn't do the interstate. The states are control the interstates. Hey, no, I appreciate it. Thank you for that. It's as you see, multiple every day. I think I put up 5, 4, and 3 shorts. Shorts are kind of easy though, but just time consuming. But anyways, yes, and then edited 20 or 30. Someone was giving me a hard time because they copied too much on one of the community posts. Said I was lazy. Could you take 3 more minutes? Dude, I take hours. I'm trying to save a few minutes so I can keep going, do more things. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's like the Phone Shane used to say, I better spell that right or I'm going to get 1,000 letters saying I misspelled something. Anyways, no, I appreciate you. Breaking IRS scandal exposed. You're not going to believe this. Senator Joni Ernst has revealed the IRS employees owe $50 billion in unpaid tax. Yes, the people who enforce the tax laws aren't paying them. The people that will send the cops to come get you. I didn't know. No one else. They changed the microphone on me. Does that sound a little bit better? Thanks, StreamYard. The people who enforce the laws and will threaten to throw you in jail are not paying them. Nearly 6,000 IRS employees, almost 10% of the agency, have significant unpaid tax balances. Average amount owed about $8,000 per employee. These are not recent bills. Many are from prior years. Some didn't even file. Cue up that Lee Greenwood song, please. Somebody play it in your room. Just play it. I'm proud to be an American. Well, at least I know I'm being had. That's not how it goes. The remix version? Yes. But hey, if you don't pay your taxes, I got Jim Brewer on that coming up soon. Here's a question. Why is Trump interested in spending taxpayer dollars renaming Dulles Airport and Pennsylvania Station after himself? Carolyn Avitt? Why not? Make Idiocracy fiction again. Idiocracy was just supposed to be a movie. It wasn't supposed to be a historical documentary. It's just supposed to be for laughs. That movie's become prophetic. Speaking of Told You So Tuesday on a Hump Day Wednesday, this just in. Venezuela sends oil to Israel for the first time in years following the capture of President Maduro. Good night, everybody. Again, when someone wrote me one time, how do you keep a sense of humor when I got kids. This sounds like daunting. It's almost like Blackmail, but I got 4 kids too. It's like I was at the gym. I go quite often, I have to say. And this was back 4 or 5 months ago, into the summer. And a friend of mine, he's atheistic. Actually, he's like, I think he hates Catholics. Yet he talks to me, and it's not like I don't. When I go to the gym, I wear Catholic shirts that I make. If you go to the merchandise, you'll see the shirts I wear. It's, it sticks out there. It's like the "Don't Tread on Me" flags. It's up, got a patch on the arm, and then it's bolding out there. And he actually figured it out one time, and he changed his tone. But he said, he goes, "How do you?" He goes, I talked to my Protestant friends, and I tell them what you telling me, and they're almost on the verge of suicide. They're depressed." And he goes, "I got a friend at the gym. He's the one that tells me this stuff. The guy's always smiling." And I go, hope. Agitorum nostrum in nomine Domini. Qui fecit caelum et terram. We can't be black-pilled, but it's going to get worse. Breaking, Nick cheerleader sorter. It's official. The Save America Act has passed. The House of Representatives, once it's signed into law, you must prove citizenship to register to vote. Photo ID at the polls. Voter ID will take effect immediately. Mail-in ballots must have a copy of your photo ID, and get ready for your digital ID. Now on to the Senate, so they can stick it to you a little bit harder, probably without KY jelly. The Department of Homeland Security is demanding that Google turn over information about random critics. Why is this coming up? Oh, don't you worry. The next 4 or 5 posts might blow your mind, or it may actually blackmail you. You don't have to lock somebody up to make them. The U.S. government has found a frankly effective way to keep tabs on citizens who criticize the government. You might, Don and DOJ, but you already got my name, and you send me a Christmas card, okay? Just demand their personal data from Google. Who isn't on that? If you're watching, you're on Google. According to recent reporting from the Washington Compost, a 67-year-old retiree sent a polite email to the attorney for the Department of Homeland Security urging mercy for an asylum seeker facing deportation to Afghanistan. The man, identified only as John, has read about the Afghani native's case and his fear that he would be persecuted should he ever return to his home country. Don't play Russian roulette with this man's life, John told lead DHS prosecutor Joseph Darnbach in the email. Err on the side of caution. There's a reason the U.S. government, along with many governments, don't recognize the Taliban. Apply principles to common sense and decency. 5 hours later, per Washington Compost, John received a response, not from Durbach or the DHS, but from Google. Google has received legal process from the law enforcement authority compelling the release of information related to your Google account, it read. The email advised John that the legal process was an administrative subpoena issued by DHS. Soon, government agents would arrive at his home, kidnap him, tie him up, shoot him in the head, and eat his dog. Eating the dogs, eating the cats. I don't know. The subpoena wasn't approved by the judge. It didn't require probable cause. Google gave John just 7 days to challenge it in federal court. I don't know how that's legal. Not nearly enough time for someone without a crack team of lawyers on retainer. Even more maddeningly, neither Google nor DHS had sent him a copy of the subpoena itself, leaving John and his attorney in the dark. How do you challenge a subpoena when you don't have a copy of? An attorney John consulted told Washington Post. DHS told Secretary Tricia McLaughlin, told the newspaper in a statement, the law grants the department, quote, broad administrative subpoena authority, meaning legal demands from DHS officials don't need to pass independent review. Just throw that Constitution, put it up, and shred it. That thing is toast. We already joked and said it was gone, dead, all that. Toast. Just put it, light it up. Come on. There's no oversight ahead of time, and there's no ramifications for having abused administrative subpoenas after the fact. Garnick, an attorney at ACLU, which is representing John pro bono, told WAPO. As we are increasingly in a world where unmasking critics is important to the administration, this type of legal process is ripe for that kind of abuse. When uninformed DHS agents did show up at John's front door weeks later, they grilled him for over 20 minutes, pointing him to his mentions of Russian roulette and the Taliban as suspicious. In the end, the field grunts, who had been dispatched by an anonymous official in D.C., agreed John hadn't broken any laws. Go figure. When John finally received a copy of the subpoena from Google 22 days after they received their 7-day notice, it demanded his data going back weeks, timestamps for his online activity, every known IP and physical address, his credit card, driver's license, and social security TOD numbers. It doesn't take that much to make people look over their shoulder to think twice before they speak again. Nathan Wessler, another of John's ACLU attorneys, told WAPO. That's why these kind of subpoenas and other actions, the visits, were so pernicious. You don't have to lock somebody up to make them reticent to make their voice heard. Why do I bring this up? I'll play. I can't pause it. For some reason I can't pause it sometimes.
The company. This is the technical part of the story that I want to learn more about, that I bet many viewers want to learn more about, because this is a key part of the breakthrough. My sense is that the engineers and the technicians at Google, the company that owns Nest, deserve a lot of credit for this breakthrough. And you can read between the lines of Kash Patel's statement and get that sense. He said, working with our partners, they were able to obtain this video. Well, for viewers who aren't familiar how Nest works, these are some of the Nest cameras. So here's one of them that's for outdoor use. Here's an indoor camera that's for indoor use. You plug these in, you're able to see whatever the camera sees. But unless you have a monthly subscription to the cloud interface, there's not a backup of the recordings. You're able to see the video live if you have it plugged in. You're not able to see a backup. A lot of people don't bother to pay for the backup for $10 a month or whatever it is, because all you're ever going to see on your cameras is, well, in the Tucson desert, maybe a coyote every once in a while. But in this instance, according to the FBI, the Google engineers, these data forensics experts, were able to somehow retrieve the raw material that was coming off the camera live, that was being fed onto the servers live, even though there was not a subscription. There's going to be a lot of questions about that. And so far, we've only seen the video from what seems to be the doorbell camera and not from any other cameras around the home, Boris.
As Slow News Day says, rightly. So the entire Guthrie kidnapping was native advertising for the surveillance state. You don't hate government and state-sponsored media enough. Remember the Super Bowl commercial? Hey, we're going to help you. We're going to find your puppies. It's already connected. It's already scanning every one of you, but it's because of your puppies that we're going to put this in action. Don't hate. Just like the Corbett 5 minutes of the 9/11 thing. If you say anything about this, you hate puppies. Speaking of the Ring camera one, this is fantastic. This is a mock commercial of it.
This is Milo. Pets are family, but every year 10 million of them go missing. And the ways we look for them haven't changed in years.
Except for all of these.
But what if we could make finding one lost dog require the computational power of a small dictator-led nation state? Search Party from Ring uses AI to search through our tens of millions of cameras. We could find literally anyone, but we only use this technology to find lost dogs. Recently, we announced a partnership with over 5,000 law enforcement agencies, but we won't let them use this feature. This feature is just for dogs. Guess what? We've automatically opted your cameras in. Who has time to read settings? Not you. You're too busy being a hero, whether you know it or not. And the best part, it's free for everyone. We're just doing this out of the goodness of our hearts. Customers are loving Search Party, and so will you. Don't these nice images of kids reuniting with their lost dogs feel good? Look at this one. Doesn't that make you feel warm and fuzzy? There's absolutely no reason to go to wise.com and buy a camera with an SD card, because if you own all your own footage, you won't be able to help people find lost puppies. I'd tell you to join the neighborhood, but you're already in it. Search Party, way better than Wisecam, and definitely only
People do this. They laugh, not to cry. Ring camera captures suspected Guthrie abductor. Dog in a mask. Here's Matt Wallace. what we learned today is the FBI can retrieve footage from any camera at your house at any time, even if they were not set to record, and even if you do not have a subscription. Matt Walls again, it doesn't take a conspiracy theorist to realize that the groundwork is being laid for mass AI surveillance state. I have been, how many great googly moody, how many times have I been bringing this up? And I guarantee there's people out there in our circle that think I'm a kook for bringing this up over and over and over. Hold on. Let me play Once the Future King, President DJT from his first term. If the links, if the audio will come over. There we go. Here we go over here. Where's it at?
Finally complete. The biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. We will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
And don't forget, you got the Save Act coming. You'll have that. You got all these doorbells, Flock and Ring putting together. You'll have that. I was just reading what that thing's. Yeah, don't worry. It's getting worse. Your Ring doorbell isn't finding pets. It's building your permanent blackmail file. During the Super Bowl, millions and millions of Americans watched the heartwarming advertisement. A Ring doorbell video clip showed a lost pet returned to its grateful owner. Oh. Thanks to the watchful eye of our neighbor's camera. The message was simple. Buy this device, build a safer, more connected community. It was a masterstroke of emotional manipulation, a Trojan horse designed to a feel-good story. By the way, I still have big name Catholic guys that will never talk about this. The reality is far more sinister. That innocuous-looking device on your front door isn't just a digital peephole. It's a data harvesting node in the vast private-owned surveillance grid. You are not buying security. You are financing the construction of your own permanent digital dossier, a file that can and will be weaponized against you and your family. This isn't paranoia. It's the logical endpoint of a partnership between profit-hungry corporations and a government that long ago abandoned the concept of privacy as a right. Again, think of Flock. Think of everything they're doing. They're literally using the whole idea of, oh, it's because of the immigrants that we're putting this up there. Bull. They're using the immigrants as an excuse to put this up, and we're all getting stuck on it. You're literally looking at your neighbor going, why are you wearing that mask? It doesn't work. But the TV told me to. So you do it anyways. And you don't think. No one brings this up anything. Like no one never questions it because this is what you're supposed to do. The TV told me this is what it's about. The guy I voted for likes it. I have to do it. No, that's why he's there. The heartwarming Super Bowl lie, surveillance masquerading as community. The advertisement was a perfect piece of propaganda. It tapped into universal human desire, the safety of our homes, and the well-being of our loved ones. What was that line by Franklin? If you choose safety over safety with liberty, you lose both and get none, including our pets. It sold a fantasy of Neighborhood Watch 2.0, where technocracy, where technology fosters connection and security. The truth, as revealed by researchers and journalists, is that these devices have little to no impact on crime. That's from, I thought it must be down here. Where's it at? Yeah. Cities giving away video doorbells to keep neighbors safe, but no evidence that technology prevents crime. Yeah, they're going to do it. They can get away with it. Where's it at? Their primary function is not to stop burglaries, but to create a commercial human tracking grid. Didn't Trump just say that in that video? Every motion alert, every package delivery recorded, every casual conversation captured on your doorstep is a data point. You are voluntarily paying a monthly subscription to install the infrastructure of your own surveillance. This is the dream scenario, and that's not including if you have Alexa or what's the Google one? Is Alexa the Google? Yeah, all the other ones that you get in there, or Ask Siri. This is a dream scenario for the intelligence agencies. As investigative journalist Mike Adams has explained, this setup transforms into a massive surveillance apparatus where every piece of digital information you possess ends up accessible to agencies like the CIA. You are not a customer, you are the product, and your private life is the commodity being sold and packaged and sold. Beyond privacy, why nothing to hide, you hear that one all the time, is the fastest path to blackmail. The common retort to those who embrace the surveillance is, I have nothing to hide. This argument is not just naive, it's dangerous, myopic, and misunderstands the fundamental nature of power. The threat is not that someone is immediately interested in your grocery deliveries or your mundane comings and goings. The real peril lies in the creation of a permanent searchable leverage. As Shoshana Zuboff, author of The Age of Surveillance Capitalism, I have that book. I got halfway through it. It's deep. It has detail. Corporations like Google and Facebook are after your most intimate moments, your voice, your face, your private conversations within your home. Everyone has private moments, political opinions, medical concerns, or family disputes that can be twisted, taken out of context, or weaponized in the future. Talk about protocols from the elder design. Yeah. Consenting to the surveillance is consenting to future blackmail. A heated argument with your spouse on the doorstep, a medical professional visiting your home, political sign in your yard, a friend of questionable reputation stopping by. All of it is recorded, stored, and algorithmically analyzed. The data creates a source of compromising material on you and your family, turning your sanctuary into a panopticon. The full smart home trap, your TV, thermostat, and speaker are all snitches. Remember, was it back in 2003? General Petraeus said the oven was spying, the dishwasher was spying on you. The Ring doorbell is merely the tip of the spear. The entire smart home ecosystem is a distributed surveillance network designed to eliminate any remaining shred of privacy. Your internet-connected TV likely has a camera and a microphone. Your net, because there's some you can program. You just tell it what to do. Your Nest thermostat knows when you are home and what temperature you prefer. Your Alexa or Google Home device is a constant listening post. As noted by the FTC, devices like these have been used to let employees spy on customers through their cameras, including those in their bedroom. Furthermore, this data doesn't stay with the company. It is uploaded to corporate servers, where it forms a comprehensive profile of your life. These servers are, as Mike Adams last pointed out, directly accessible to government intelligence clients like the CIA. The danger escalates to those ecosystem merge. Amazon's attempted acquisition of iRobot, maker of the Roomba, prompted warnings from over 20 pro-privacy groups about the threat of abusive surveillance and big tech monopolies. From the thing that cleans your floor, Roomba maps the interior layout of your home. Combined with audio from smart speakers and video from doorbells, it creates a chillingly complete picture of your private life, all readily available to corporate and government partners. Clue up that Lee Greenwood song. You got to play that while you're listening to this. That's Epstein Light, how your data becomes a lifetime blackmail portfolio. Don't worry, it gets worse. The connected data is not, it is stored forever, creating a permanent searchable file on every individual of their family. This isn't a temporary snapshot. It's a lifetime portfolio of your behavior, associations, and vulnerabilities. Proud to be an American. Advanced AI can mine decades of recordings for any embarrassing, controversial, or compromising moment. A joke told in poor taste years ago. I probably got plenty of those. A visit from a relative with a checkered past. Your search history during a moment of personal crisis. Someone put up me all. Go ahead and get it over with. All of it can be dredged up and used to discredit, coerce, or control. This creates what can only be described as a blackmail grid. This grid isn't for petty criminals. It is a tool for social control used to ensure compliance from anyone who rises to a position of influence, political, corporate, or community. Again, well, that shows you about if anybody of any kind of virtue tries to get into office, and I do it anyways, probably this will be used against you. This, which kind of makes me want to do it even more. I'm like a sick, twisted mind. Something like that gets me more motivated to get out there and go like, all right, yeah, come at me with everything you got. The goal is a system where everyone is compromised and therefore everyone is controllable. Your past, captured forever by your own devices, becomes a chain that binds your future. Now, people will bow down because of that. Some people are like, who cares? Human respect, go pound sand. Bring it. Digital honeypot. Even your privacy tools feed the beast. Many popular VPN services are themselves honeypots. Some allegedly owned by intelligent fronts that exist to hoover up browsing data now tied directly to your identity and payment information. Your most sensitive searches for alternative medical treatments, for political dissent, for personal struggles create a perfect raw material for blackmail. One of the guys talk about this as in mess. You gotta also be smart about this. So say you're looking for stuff that they're looking at, like you're going to put you in for alternative media like that, medical treatment or political dissent. Confuse it. I can't remember the guy's name. It was on Corbett long ago. It says confuse the algorithms. Look at the sites you want, but then go in and look at the sites that you would never look at, like pro-Clinton sites or something like that, or HuffPo, and do the algorithm. So you're doing both. It will mess the algorithm completely up. You'll wackadoo it in a sense. The surveillance state's objective is laid bare by the push for digital IDs and CBDCs is universal compromise. They seek a world where no one is beyond the influence or coercion of those who control the surveillance and financial grids. Again, learn human respect to get rid of it and learn to figure out how to grow food on your own. Even tools meant to empower you, like genetic testing service, has been weaponized. The genetic testing company 23andMe filed for bankruptcy amid scandals over its handling and sale of customer data, creating profound implications for individuals and entire family lineages. There's no opt-out. The goal is total knowledge and therefore total control. And some of those places they use that to create vaccines from. And then you'll get those, hey, you're from Charlemagne or something like that. Bogus. They lied to you for that. All they wanted was your data or DNA. Reclaiming your castle. Practical steps to dismantle the home surveillance grid. One, get rid of all that stuff. The only sane and rational response to this engineered dystopia is to reject these technologies entirely. The convenience is a lie. The cost of your autonomy and your family's safety. The first and most important step is to disconnect and remove all smart surveillance devices from your home. Dump the Ring doorbell. Yes. Dump the Nest thermostat. I refuse to be anywhere where there's a smart home grid type deal. Dump the Alexa speaker. Hey, Alexa, buy me a dollhouse. James Evan Pilato says that if he walks in any home with an Alexa, he just yells it out to see if it does it. Do not replace them with other small alternatives. Again, are you that lazy? Can't get off the couch, go turn off the phone, turn off the light, or get up and turn the TV on or something, or get up and do anything? If you have to have Alexa, do this for me. Hey, Alexa, turn the lights on. Hey, Alexa, just get up. If you need something scheduled, hey, Alexa, make a schedule. Get a Post-it note. Just, let's be smart about this. You don't need your refrigerator talking to your phone to tell you need milk. Christopher, yes. The perceived opposition of the two sides are just tools to usher in the new world order government. Let's see, where are we at here? Seek out dumb appliances, basic thermostats, traditional doorbells, televisions that are not connected to the internet. If you already own a smart TV, never connect it to your Wi-Fi. Embrace analog alternatives where possible. Use a paper calendar instead of a cloud sync digital one. Read physical books. Almighty, man. What a perish the thought. Have in-person conversations. True security and privacy come from self-reliance and decentralization, not from outsourcing them to corporate spyware partnerships. As the article Escape from the Digital Purse Scene argues, we must break free from the digital net that encircles us. Fraud. Yeah, the Ring doorbell was a brilliant piece of misdirection. It sold fear and packaged the cure, but the cure is the disease. Each of these devices is a brick in the wall of the digital prison we are building for ourselves and our neighbors. The nothing to hide defense is a surrender to tyranny, the willingness to live under the unblinking eye of power. The time for polite concern is over. The smartphone home is a trap. The surveillance grid is real. It is being constructed with our own money and our own misplaced trust. Right in front of, in real time. It's open conspiracy, as Orwell said. Yeah, we've been bought out by gadgets and gizmos. Darn right. Yeah. And yes, may God have mercy on his soul. But in the words of George Carlin, it's exactly right. He had some great lines. They hated us, but yeah, he knows the truth now. Pray for his eternal soul. Benjamin Netanyahu officially joins the Board of Peace. I've tried reading that many times, and I can't read it without laughing. During U.S. visit as his forces continue killing Palestinians in Gaza. Speaking of anti-war, let's check out anti-war real quick and see what's going on. And generals singing in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Their destruction. Trump, nothing definitive in Netanyahu talks. Report, U.S. pulls out of air tariff base in Syria. Israel joins Board of Peace as IDF. I just can't help it. IDF kills in Gaza. Religious Liberty Commission member fired. What's her face? They fired her for questioning Zionism. Israel denies cancer treatment to Palestinian child over at Gaza address. U.S. military shoots down party balloon with laser. Laser. EU approves $100 billion loan to Ukraine. Saudi-backed forces shoot STC protesters in Yemen, and U.S. holds secret indictment of Venezuelans Rodriguez. Just like witches at black masses. The FAA and the FCC won't bother me. At the FAA abruptly lifts order halting El Paso planes, raising questions about disruption. The FAA abruptly halted all flights at El Paso International Airport in South Texas for 10 days and then lifted the order on Wednesday, hours later. The Defense Department disabled Mexican cartel drones that breached U.S. airspace, according to the Trump administration official. The FAA cited security reasons for the flight ban, and some Democrat lawmakers pushed for answers of the sudden changes. Kim, welcome to the program. I know you're late. We're kind of mocking the phone ideas. Trump administration shoots down party balloon with laser from a shark after mistaking it for a cartel drone in El Paso. Yeah. By the way, they know that those boats are carrying drugs, but they accidentally shoot down a party balloon with a laser because they thought it was a cartel drone. Read that again. They shot down party balloon with a laser after mistaking it for a cartel drone in airspace chaos. But you're going to believe that everyone that's in those boats are drug traffickers. They shot down a party balloon. The Trump administration announced that it had taken out a Mexican cartel drone flying in U.S. airspace, only to confirm hours later that the object was nothing more than a party balloon from Party City, USA. The chaos began when I hope they have a photo of the party balloon here. When anti-drone tech was deployed near the southern border to target what officials initially believed were foreign drones, because foreign drones move at the speed of party balloons. The object was later identified as a party balloon, according to sources. At least one was shot down. Was it like a group of party balloons? Is that how it was? The incident forced the FAA to initially shut down El Paso airspace, which spans 2 border states, for 10 days. On Tuesday night, the FAA administration, Brian Bradford, moved to close the airspace without alerting the White House or the Pentagon or Homeland Security officials. Somebody got fired. That has to happen. You can't shoot down a party balloon, call it a drone, close down an airspace for 10 days, and get away with it. However, the White House stated on Wednesday saying Mexican cartel drones breached U.S. airspace. So that just shows you right there. If you see the White House send a tweet out right off the bat, just remember, they have no clue what they're talking about, and they're just showing it just to get clicks and get ahead of the narrative. The Department of War took action to disable the party balloons. Disable the drone. You have too much fun with this. Let's see. The FAA order announced at 11:30 Tuesday covered 10 miles per hour. Blocked flights over the city. Come on, they got to talk about the party balloon a little bit more. Waiver applies, blah, blah, blah. Could you imagine being the airport handled over more than 4 million? Oh, no. Okay, that wasn't in one day. The airline said it had notified affected passengers and will share updates for more information. Sorry it was late. They thought it was a drone. Ended up being a party balloon. They're not bringing it up. They don't say anything else about the party balloons. Grounding all flights for 10 days would have cost the city millions of dollars. Yeah, over a balloon, over a party balloon. So, anyone needs to defeat drone monitoring is a few balloons from Party City. Again, and people wonder why I call this Clown Planet. They thought it was Balloon Boy. I'm thinking of George, Curious George. Remember the episode when he's flying in a balloon over there? George! Is that George would have gotten shot down by the Department of War, and all he was doing was getting a ride on some party balloons. Party balloons took down, screwed up DOD. Drone defenses can be taken out by party balloons. Who knew that? Write that down. Man detained for questioning in Nancy Guthrie case is released. I should have had this up with the other ones. If you're just joining, go back about 10 minutes to the point I read about the dystopian tactics being used right in front of our eyes to find people and your dog. Send us some balloons. Federal debt to hit record levels. Budget office warrants. Get your balloons before the balloons cost $40 a balloon. Here's Jim Brewer. Stop paying. I'll play him. I should have added that when I was talking about the taxes part.
He stopped this whole system. What drives it? Money. Don't pay taxes. Don't pay taxes. Watch how fast every politician be like, whoa. Why do we pay taxes? To send money to the I country? To send money to other countries? Why are we going to pay taxes? What can we do, Jim? What can we do? Stop paying taxes. They take our money. They laugh in your face. They give it to others. They create war. They create chaos. We're infiltrated. So we got to take care of one another. Forget your left, right. Forget your Republican, Democrat. Forget all that. Start taking care of one another and look at the real bad guys. The real bad guys are the ones causing all this.
Amen. The stupid left versus fake right, all that stuff. Yankee versus Red Sox, my team versus your team. Oh, we got to be based against the immigrants. What? The whole thing is a psyop to get you to hate thy neighbor. You hate this guy because this guy doesn't think in you on. You hate this guy because I'm supposed to hate my neighbor because she had a cackles sign during the election. But they've been not. I mean, even though they give me jam and all this strawberry jam and things like that, I'm supposed to hate them because of that. As I've been saying, Jim's right there, right on. Who has your neighbor who might be a Democrat? I don't care if they are or not. Have they ever hurt you? No. They ever stolen from you? No. Have they ever sent you to die in a war? No. People in DC have. They steal from you all the time. They send you to die. They make fun of you. They call you names. They laugh at you. They get rich off you, and then they surveillance you and people think you live in the land of the free. Home of the brave, land of free. Effigy labeled Baal burnt in Tehran, India, Iran. By the way, we're trying to bomb Iran. Notice that those the images. I'll go ahead and play it. Yeah, the I people, the I country. You know who they're talking about. Oh, wrong one.
Also pleased to share that parents across the country can now officially apply to open a Trump account for their child.
Woo.
In order to apply, parents can visit trumpaccounts.gov and fill out the IRS form 4547. These Trump accounts are special investment accounts aimed at providing American children with a jump start on building wealth for life. They have all the tax advantages as a traditional IRA account, but are specifically tailored to build wealth the moment a child is born.
Thanks, government. Thanks, Daddy.
Thanks to President Trump, every child born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028 is eligible to receive $1,000 from the U.S. Treasury to fund their account. Parents, guardians, and even nonprofits can then contribute up to $5,000 per year. Employers can also...
You know the drill. Socialism is okay if it has a MAGA label on it. Yes, I'm going to have to cough till I die. I get it. Oh, yes. Think a word from our sponsor, iCatholic Mobile. Stay connected with iCatholic Mobile. If you want to know anything about this, they work off AT&T lines, but they don't give to AT&T. They don't give the Sprint. They don't give the Comcast or anything like that. Who are other phone people that it was a Spectrum? They paid for people to go across states to go get abortions, things like this. He told me that one of the group was a T-Mobile. They give a lot to Gruesome News somewhere. So not if you switch your line, which takes I did it with them. I switched, took me like 2 minutes, 5 minutes maybe. You switch over, the money directly goes to iCatholic Mobile, who gives to priests and religious orders, and they also comp priests and religious for their service. So if you know any priests or religious that are struggling to pay some bills, hook them up with iCatholic Mobile. David will get them free cell phone service. And again, they also work with internet. I think he's got, let me say, the ICK and the fraternity. I think he's got fraternities in the society. I think that some of those guys work with him, and he's hooked the parishes up with free internet. So yeah, check out that especially if you know anybody that's like needs free internet in the religious orders, things like that. And again, if you're paying for Sprint or T-Mobile, just switch over. Again, the rates are comparable or same, and you're not giving money to bail. Okay, iCatholicMobile.com. You see it. Check it out. Give them a call. After arriving in Washington, Benjamin war criminal Netanyahu meets privately with Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and other Jews involved in the Trump administration. These are the meetings that dictate the future of American society. 6 Jews at the table plotting to bring America into a war. I'm not supposed to say the J word, am I? Darn. Where's the J jar? Put a quarter over there. Nick Sorter, Israeli prime minister and war criminal, by parenthetical notes. Then Netanyahu has arrived in Washington District of Criminals for his meeting at the White House with once a future Ukrainian President DJT. Netanyahu is in a large Secret Service motorcade, and security is incredibly tight, with I-695 West being totally shut down for His Excellency and 2 helicopters overhead. I haven't seen this done by anyone but the President of the United States. They're not taking any chances for the boss of. If you don't think we're living in a monarch of some sort, there's another reason right there. There's another thing right there. Do not tell me that the kings don't get to run through like that. You little people get to do that? No. Trump will continue to get visits from the boss until he does what he's told and attacks Iran. For context, Netanyahu has visited White House more times in Trump's first year than any foreign leader has ever visited in history. No more hiding who's really in charge. Glenn Greenwald, Netanyahu visits Trump for the 7th time amid more threats of a U.S. Attack on Iran. Bomb, 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 Iran. Bomb. Now, this is the fun part. You guys seen these? Holy, great googly moogly. Trump Attorney General Bondi hearing goes nuclear when Democrat leader demands she pipe down. Let's see. First off, let's get Levette on Epstein. We're moving on from that. Oh, really? This was just about an hour ago. Newly unsealed Jeffrey Epstein files reveal details of child exploitation. Newly unsealed Epstein files include an email describing a girl dressed as Jesus before being raped and murdered by associates. The release has sparked public outrage, discussions of lack of arrests. Again, nobody's going to get arrested, and no one will get arrested, and calls for full unredacted disclosure. Reactions also address mentions of figures like Trump and Michael Jackson in the documents. If anything, Epstein tarnished the reputation of Trump foes of zero criminal records. Yeah, Teen Party politics, Gunther. Here is I'll play a little bit. I'll see how much I can play on here because I have quite a few of hers, so maybe I don't have to switch back and forth. Cash is already going cross-eyed. Does that line even work? No sound? It's not working? All right, well, let me try a different way. All right, well, I guess I'll do it the regular way.
Talking about it.
But, instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in
Can you hear it now?
prison, you should
I
be
have a
talking
couple-
about Irina Zarutska,
I have a couple
who
of
died
other
on a
questions.
subway.
Right, and I absolutely.
You don't talk about that.
I have been talking about it and actually helping with these issues. But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify. That's what the whole
I bet
point
we
of
are.
this
You're here.
endeavor is. So of course we're moving back to you. It is all about you. So as we've heard,
Yeah, sorry if it wasn't playing. I thought it was. I thought what you could hear through that. Anyway, thanks for telling me that.
she took the fifth in response to every single question in that committee hearing. And her lawyer dangled the offer of clemency. Should Donald Trump pardon or commute her sentence? Should she be released from prison? Yes or no? You said you hope she dies there, so I'm hoping the answer is no.
I already answered that question.
Good. I'm very glad. I really like this bipartisan agreement about
Well, when
what
it
should
agrees
happen.
with you, but you
Yes.
don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You don't want to talk about
I talk about her
murdered
all
by
the
a
time,
violent crime
but
offender.
Talk about deflection. Bondi is in over it. They are just trumping. The one thing about it is she knows she can get away with it too.
That didn't see one tweet, not one. I didn't see one tweet when Joe Biden was in office about Bill Clinton. Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once when he was
Weak sauce.
And also, I want the record to reflect that, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Oh,
is
Jewish.
I just want to be clear.
Again, more deflection.
Oh, do you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust.
I reclaim my time.
Really?
I reclaim my time.
Really?
committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
The ranking member knows that.
It is a circus and a half. Don't worry, there's more. This went on for a while.
Ask
Chairman, please stop the clock.
No, it's done.
This is
It's done.
great.
There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files.
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no
President
evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please
I'd
stop
like
the
to
clock.
reclaim my
Please
time.
stop the clock.
the legislation. This is
Time.
this
I'd like
is
to reclaim my
ridiculous.
time.
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under
Don't you ever.
oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell. So should the men who patronized his operation. And as we say here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you.
I mean, think about that. Zero. All this stuff that's come out, zero. There's another one.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to
How many you do? No, I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to answer my question. What?
answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No, you're
Your
going to answer the
theatrics are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it. How
Chairman
many have you
Jordan, I'm not
indicted?
going to get in the gutter with these people,
How many
but
have
I'm
you-
going to answer the question.
How many have you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
the time belongs.
I think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting.
time.
You can
When
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
about they
Reclaiming my time,
indicted,
Mr.
the
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him
Mr.
twice.
Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and stop the
he
clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time
Reclaiming my
belongs to
time
the
and
gentleman
roll back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when
Reclaiming
you ask
my-
a question, the
The
witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
Que-
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming-
So he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
Reclaiming my time.
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaiming-
Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I
anything,
did tell you because we
washed
saw
up
what you did in the
loser
Senate.
Lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I
Not a
said that
few more,
already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Reclaiming my time. The answer to my question, how many of Epstein's co-conspirators has she indicted, is 0. You have been the Attorney General for a whole year, and your DOJ fired the lead prosecutor of this case, sat on evidence this entire time, and claimed falsely last
100%.
July that there were no more leads. It took an act of Congress for you to finally release part of the Epstein files, and when you did, you included personal information about the victims while protecting the names of abusers.
Time of the gentleman
None of
has
the perpetrators have been
expired.
brought to justice, but enormous resources
Time
are
of the
dedicated to
gentleman has
pursuing Trump's
expired, and
It's
obviously
clear
there
that
was-
under your leadership, the Department of Justice
there
no
was
longer
no
works for
question
American
in
people.
there.
It works
Order
for
respond
Donald
to.
Trump. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. Catching you for a respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question.
You can
Within
give me-
40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Red-handed. There was one redaction out of
He's
over
listed as a
4,700, and we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get. You're a failed politician. You need to go on these matters.
Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information.
This one might take the cake out of all of them.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee. The Dow right now.
Now, in a sense, that might be a telling statement that she's bringing that up going, we are the ones in control of that. You keep going after us, we'll take that down. Maybe that's an angle she's going with, but it is kind of funny. She's losing her mind as when they say, well, why she has not indicted any of the clients, and she goes right to, hey, look at the Dow. What? But again, she might have been saying some truthful things in a coded ways, thinking that hey, they're in charge of that. Millions and millions of student loan borrowers aren't repaying their loans, which anybody knew that for the last year and a half. And defaults are up. Roughly 1 million borrowers defaulted on their federal student loans late last year, with millions and millions delinquent on their payments and sliding towards the same fate. That's according to the federal data and the latest household debt and credit report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, was dropped on Tuesday. The report includes student loan data at the end of 2025. Delinquencies continue to worsen, said New York Fed researchers, as they expect the number of borrowers in default to continue to grow. That bubble's going to burst. The report offers further confirmation of the crisis U.S. student loan portfolio, in which too many borrowers are not repaying their loans. Nearly 10% of student loan balances are more than 90 days past due, according to the report. I guarantee it. Book it. They're going to give student loan forgiveness. You're going to see MAGA people cheering it on. And I don't care who it is. Just do it anyways. $40 trillion in a hole. Why are you going to keep you're going to keep the little guy down more. Hence why, like Trump said the other day, he's going to try to keep the housing prices artificially pricey high so that they don't lose their wealth, and somehow the younger crowd's supposed to afford a $500,000 home that used to be $100,000. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Dave DeCamp. What happened was Vice President JD Vance posts a tweet. Today, Vice President Vance and Second Lady Usha Vance attended the wreath-laying ceremony at the Armenian Genocide Memorial to honor the victims of the 1915 Armenian Genocide. Caitlin goes, why did you delete this tweet? Armenians were crucified for refusing to convert to Islam, women raped, fetuses torn from the mother's wombs, and impaled on spikes. Yet you can't say the word genocide? Dave DeCamp, wow. Vance deleted a tweet about Armenian genocide, then went over to Azerbaijan to sign a deal with Aliyev, the guy who cleansed Artishka, Nagorno-Karabakh, of 150,000 Armenian Christians, some defender of Christians. I'll play good old Levitt.
White House again blamed that on
Danny.
Oh, it's kind of a good remix.
Danny. I'm
sorry, I had too much fun.
Today, the vice president's account posted and then deleted a tweet about the Armenian genocide. And then last week, President Trump's Truth Social account posted and then deleted a racist video about the Obamas. And the White House again blamed that on a staffer. I wanted to ask you, does the White House have a
Yeah, and Kerry got fired was earlier today too.
a social media problem at the moment? Do you have an auto-posting problem that's leading to these mistakes?
No. As for the Armenian tweet that you're referring to,
As David Camp, you could hear she was going to say Armenian genocide when she referenced the tweet, but stop. She kind of held it.
At the moment, do you have an auto-posting problem that's leading to these mistakes?
No. As for the Armenian tweet that you're
Her cross is mysteriously vanished all of a sudden.
tweet that you're referring to, I would just refer you back to the White House's message that was issued on Armenian Remembrance Day, and there's been no change of policy at this time. Mary.
Did Google have her Armenian Remembrance Day on their front page of Google? Mortgage delinquencies are rising in low-income neighborhoods. Delinquencies are up all over the place. Again, you hear hey, it's glory days, happy days are back again. We're in the golden age. Smart underwear tracks gut bacteria by measuring fluctuates. Again, there's a reason why I call it Clown Planet. But this is the real thing. They also have smart toilets. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be serious here. Serious things. Scientists developed a wearable sensor that clips onto underwear and monitors gut bacteria activity by measuring hydrogen gas from flatulence for up to a week on a single battery. I need someone else to read this. Brick, I see you in there. Come on, log in. I'll let you. You're finishing the show. The device detected dietary changes with 94.7% accuracy in a study of 38 people, revealing the participants pass gas 35 times daily on average, depending on if they're eating beans or not. Far more than the 10 to 20 episodes people typically self-report. Who's counting that? Individual variation was dramatic, with daily gas counts ranging from 4 to 59 episodes. 59! Suggesting that there may be no normal when it comes to gut bacterial activity. About 1/3 of participants reported the digestive discomfort from plain sugar gumdrops that produce minimal bacterial fermentation, revealing how expectations can influence perceived symptoms. And no, the setup is not a joke. Another word from our sponsor, the Martyrs Walk Fund. Check it out, martyrswalkfund.org. If you need help with, if you want, what they do a boot camp, right? So it's a Catholic boot camp. There's boxing goes on, there's drills, there's all prayers. You're at the. It's actually they're located when they do this. It's probably about 10 minutes away from me. He ends up renting out the not fairgrounds, but it's got a lake and all that. And anyways, you go through the boot camp for a weekend, and if you can't afford it, then if you want to fund other people to do it, go to the Martyrs Walk Fund, send in some donation there, 501c, and he'll use that to pay for somebody to come out, fly him out, put him through the work, because he has to pay for the grounds to use it anyways. And as you see the helicopter, this is when they were helping out with the hurricane. In locations here, mostly in the southeast, stay close to home type deal. If there's anything that happens, they need to buy generators, something like that, the funds will go to people like that. So again, martyrswalkfund.org. She bounced a $25 check in 2014, and then ICE tried to deport her. Must be one of those the worst ones, right? Is Israel used weapons in Gaza that made thousands of Palestinians evaporate? Where's the life side? Where's the pro-life people on these ones, like stuff like this? Al Jazeera investigation reveals how U.S. supplied thermal and thermobaric munitions burning at 3,500 Celsius have left no trace of nearby 3,000 Palestinians. Great googly moogly. At dawn on August 10, 2024, Yasmin Mahani walked through the smoking rooms of Al Tabeen School in Gaza City, searching for her son, Shahid. She found her husband screaming about it, but of Saad, there was no trace. I went into a mosque and found myself stepping on flesh and blood, Mahini told Al Jazeera. She searched hospitals and morgues for days. We found nothing aside, not even a body to bury. That was the hardest part. Mahini is one of thousands of Palestinians whose loved ones have been simply banished during Israel's genocide war in Gaza, which has killed more than 72,000 people. And that's been Israel's number, by the way. That's not just, hey, well, that's Al Jazeera. No, Israel came out with that number just a couple weeks ago. According to Al Jazeera Arabic investigation, the rest of the story, civil defense teams in Gaza documented 2,842 Palestinians who have evaporated since the war began in October 2023, leaving no remains other than blood spray or small fragments of flesh. Experts and witnesses attribute this phenomenon to Israel's systematic use of internationally prohibited thermal and thermobaric weapons, often referred to as a vacuum of aerosol bombs, capable of generating temperatures exceeding 3,500 degrees Celsius. For us over here, 6,332 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. If a family tells us there are five people inside and we only recover 3 intact bodies, we treat the remaining 2 as evaporated only after exhaustive search yields nothing but biological traces. A Russian military expert explained that thermobaric weapons do not just kill, they obliterate matter. Unlike conventional explosives, these weapons disperse a cloud of fuel that ignites to create an enormous fireball and a vacuum effect. To prolong the burning time, powders of aluminum, magnesium, and titanium, all probably in the chemtrails, are added to the chemical fixture. This raises the temperature of the explosion to between 2,500 and 3,000 degrees Celsius, or 4,500 degrees Fahrenheit to 5,400 degrees Fahrenheit. According to an investigation, the intense heat is often generated by tritonal, a mixture of TNT, or dynamite, and aluminum powder used in these United States-made bombs like MK-84. Wow. The investigation identifies specific U.S. manufactured munitions used in Gaza that are linked to these disappearances. MK-84, the Hammer, this 900 kilogram, 2,000-pound unguided bomb packed with tritonal, generates heat up to 6,300 degrees Fahrenheit. BLU-109 bunker buster used in the attack on Al-Mawazi, an area Israel had declared a safe zone. Forcibly displaced Palestinians in September 2024. This bomb evaporated 22 people. It has a steel casing and a delayed fuse, burying itself before detonating a PBXN-109 explosive mix. This creates a large fireball inside enclosed spaces, incinerating everything within reach. GBU-39, a precision glide bomb that was used in the Al Tabin school attack. It uses the AFX-755 explosive. The GBU-39 is designed to keep the building structure relatively intact while destroying everything inside. It kills via pressure wave that ruptures lungs and a thermal wave that incinerates soft tissue. Good grief. Legal experts say the use of these indiscriminate weapons implicates not just Israel, but also its Western suppliers. This is a global genocide, not just an Israeli one. We see a continuous flow of these weapons from the United States and Europe. They know these weapons do not distinguish between a fighter and a child, yet they continue to send them. The Pentagram prepares second aircraft carrier to deploy to the Middle East. Trump is ratcheting up the pressure on Iran to make a deal over its nuclear program. Yeah, speaking of those bombs, did they just say Bibi's on top of that peace group thing? Something big is happening. Something happening here. Think back to February 2020. If you were paying close attention, you might notice a few people talking about a virus spreading overseas. I was talking about that. I remember hearing James Adam Pilato in October 2019 bringing up, saying something, quote, to the point of, we might want to keep an eye on this. I don't know much about what's going on over there, but this is something weird. Stock market was doing great and your kids were in school. You were going to restaurants and shaking hands and planning trips. If someone told you that they were stockpiling toilet paper, you would have thought they've been spending too much money on the weird corner of the internet. Then, over a course of about 3 weeks, the entire world shut down. Your office closed, your kids came home, and life rearranged itself into something you wouldn't have believed if you described it to yourself a month earlier. I think we're in that this seems overblown phase of something much, much bigger than Rona. I spent 6 years on the building an AI startup, investing in space. I live in this world. I'm writing this for the people in my life who don't, my family, friends, and people I care about who keep asking me, so what's the deal with AI? I should be clear about something up front. Even though I work in AI, I have almost no influence on what's about to happen. Let's see. Here's the thing. No one outside of tech quite understands yet. The reason so many people in the industry are sounding alarm right now is because this already happened to us. We're not making predictions. We're telling you what's already occurred in our own jobs and warning that you're next. For years, AI has been improving steadily, big jumps here and there, but each big jump was spaced out enough that you could absorb them as they came. Then in 2025, new tech for building these models unlocked a much faster pace of progress. And then it got even faster and then faster. Each new model wasn't even just better than the last. It was better by a wider margin. And the time between new model releases was shorter. I was using AI more and more, going back and forth with it less and less, watching it handle things I used to think required my expertise. Then on February 5th, 2 major AI labs released 2 new models on the same day. GPT 5.3 Codex from OpenAI and Opus 4.6, the makers of Claude, one of the main competitors to ChatGPT. And something clicked, not like a light switch, more like a moment you realize the water has been rising around you, and it's now at your chest. I am no longer needed for the actual technical work of my job. I describe what I want to build in plain English, and it just appears. Not a rough draft I need to fix, the finished thing. I tell the AI what I want, walk away from the computer for 4 hours, and come back to find the work done. I have a friend of mine that's big in computers that he says he can get stuff done in about an hour that usually would take 20 hours with 20 guys doing it. Done well, done better than I could have done myself, and no corrections needed. A couple months ago, I was back and forth with the AI, guiding it, making edits. Now I just describe the outcome and leave. Let me give you an example so you can understand what it looks like in practice. I tell the AI, I want to build this app. Here's what it should do. Here's roughly what it should look like. Figure out the user flow and design of it all. And it does. It writes tens of thousands of lines of code. Then, and this is the part that would have been unthinkable a year ago, it opens the app itself. It clicks through the buttons. It tests the features. It uses the app the way a person would. If it doesn't like how something looks or feels, it goes back and changes it on its own. It iterates. Like a developer would, fixing and refining until it's satisfied. Only once it has decided the app meets its own standards does it come back to me and say, it's ready for you to test. And when I test it, it's usually perfect. I'm not exaggerating. That is what my Monday looked like this week. But it was the model that was released last week, ChatGPT 5.3 Codex, that shook me the most. It wasn't just executing my instructions. It was making intelligent decisions. It had something that felt for the first time like judgment, like taste. Now it doesn't have that. It won't be Sendnet. It won't be Skynet. Still, you can just unplug it. I've always been early to adapt to it. There still will be the plug, but there's stuff autonomous already. But But I tried AI and it wasn't that good. I hear that constantly. I understand it because it used to be true. If you tried ChatGPT in 23 or 2024 and thought this makes stuff up, or this isn't that impressive, you were right. Those early versions were genuinely limited. They hallucinated. They confidently said things that were nonsense. That was 2 years ago. In AI time, that is ancient history. The models available today are unrecognizable from what existed even 6 months ago. The debate about whether AI is really getting better or hitting a wall, which has been going on for over a year, is over. It's done. Anyone still making an argument hasn't used the current models, has the incentive to downplay what's happening, or is evaluating based on the experience from 2024 that is no longer relevant. I don't say it to be dismissive. I say it because the gap between public perception and current reality is now enormous. And that gap is dangerous because it's preventing people from preparing. How fast is this actually moving? Let me make the pace of improvement concrete, because I think it's part of the hardest to believe if you're not watching it closely. In 2022, AI couldn't do basic arithmetic reliably. It would confidently tell you that 7 times 8 is 54. By 2023, it could pass the bar exam. By 2024, it could write working software and explain graduate level of science. By late 2025, some of the best engineers in the world said that they handled over most of their coding work to AI. On February 5th, 2026, new models arrived that made everything before them feel like a different era. On February 6th, 2026, Skynet became... If you haven't tried AI in the last few months, what exists today would be unrecognizable to you. There's an organization called METR that actually measures this with data. They track the length of real-world tasks that a model can complete successfully end-to-end without human help. About a year ago, the answer was roughly 10 minutes. Then it was an hour. Then several hours. The most recent measurement, Claude Opus 4.5 from November, showed the AI completing tasks that take a human expert nearly 5 hours. And that number is doubling approximately every 7 months, with recent data suggesting it might be accelerating to as fast as every 4 months. But that measurement hasn't been updated to include the models that just came out this week. In my experience using them, the jump is extremely significant. I expect the next update to show another major leap. If you extend the trend, we're looking at AI that can work independently for days within the next year, weeks within 2, months-long projects within 3. MOD said that the AI model is substantially smarter than almost all humans at almost all tasks, are on track for 2027. Let that land for a second. If AI is smarter than most PhDs, do you really think it can do most office jobs? Cue up UBI. Think about what that means for your work. AI is now building the next AI. There's one more thing happening that I think is most important development and the least understood. On February 5th, OpenAI released GPT 5.6 Codex. In the technical documentation, they included this. Codex is our first model that was instrumental in creating itself. The Codex team used early versions to debug its own training, manage its own deployment, and diagnose test results and evaluations. Read that again. The AI helped build itself. This isn't a prediction about what might happen someday. This is OpenAI telling you right now that the AI they just released was used to create itself. He says we may be 1 to 2 years away from a point when the current generation of AI autonomously builds the next. What this means for your job, I'm going to be direct with you because I think you deserve honesty more than comfort. Dario Amodei, who is probably the most safety-focused CEO in the AI industry, has publicly predicted that AI will eliminate 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs within 1 to 5 years. And many people in the industry think he's being conservative. Given what the latest models can do, the capability for massive disruption could be here by the end of this year. It will take some time to ripple through the economy, but the underlying ability is arriving now. Let me give you a few examples to make this tangible. But I want to be clear that these are just examples. The list is not exhaustive. If your job isn't mentioned here, that doesn't mean it's safe. Legal work. AI can already read contracts, summarize case law, draft briefs, and do legal research at the level that rivals junior associates. The managing partner I mentioned isn't using AI because it's fun. He's using it because it's outperforming his associates on many tasks. Financial analysis, building financial models, analyzing data, writing investment memos, generating reports. AI handles completely and is improving fast. Writing and content, marketing copy, reports, journalism, technical writing. Quality has reached a point where many professionals can't distinguish AI output from human work. Software engineering, this is the field I know best. A year ago, AI could barely write a few lines of code without errors. Now it writes hundreds of thousands of lines that work correctly. Large parts of the job are already automated. Not just simple tasks, but complex multi-day projects. There will be far fewer programming roles in a few years than there are today. Medical analysis, reading scars, analyzing lab results, suggesting diagnosis, reviewing literature. AI is approaching or exceeding human performance in several areas. Customer service, generally capable AI agents, not the frustrating chatbots of 5 years ago, are being deployed now, handling complex multi-step prompts. What you should do now, start using AI seriously, not just a search engine. Sign up for the paid version of Claude ChatGPT, $20 a month, blah, blah, blah. Second, more important, don't just ask it quick questions. That's the mistake people do. Like they treat Google or then they ask what the fuss is about. Instead, push it to your actual work. If you're a lawyer, feed it a contract. This might be the most important year of your career. Work accordingly. Have no ego about it. Get your financial house in order. Think about where you stand and lean into what's hardest to replace. Rethink what you're telling your kids. The standard playbook: get good grades, go to good college, land a stable professional job. It points directly to the roles that are most exposed. I'm not saying education doesn't matter, but the thing that matters most is learning how to work these tools. Teach your kids to be builders and learners, not to optimize for a career path that might not exist by the time they graduate. Your dreams just got a lot closer. I spent a lot of section on talking about threats. So let me talk about the other side because it's just as real. If you ever wanted to build something but didn't have the technical skills or the money to hire someone, the barrier is largely gone. You can describe an app to an AI and have a working version in an hour. I'm not exaggerating. I do this regularly. If you've always wanted to write a book, but you couldn't find the time or struggle with the writing, you can do that with AI and get it done. Want to learn a new skill? The best tutor in the world is now available for anyone at $20 a month. And that's infinitely one that's infinitely patient. That's 100% right. Available 24/7 and can explain anything at whatever level you need. Build the habit of adopting. Yeah. Sorry, I feel the genie is out of the bottle. That genie is the size of the Robin Williams genie, and there ain't no way to get that thing back in the bottle. That thing, it probably can. I wouldn't put it against it. Here's some good news. Cardinal Pizzabella says Catholic Church should not take part in Trump's Gaza border peace. And you know what? The Catholic Church should run it if Trump is honest about it. Trump is wanting to run it because he gets money out of it. It's $1 million just to get in it. The church should run it. Trump should be underneath the church on that. If they want to do a border peace, if it was legit, the church is running it. Step outside, Catholic Church running it. Everyone else, thank you for coming. Trump concludes his meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu, reaffirming his commitment to attack Iran if a deal is not reached. Trump's voters will back an Iran strike, says the Free Press. MAGA ideologues want a consistent non-interventionist policy. Voters don't. Because right when this stuff happens, watch all the cheerleaders go berserk. They'll be all over this, cheering it on. Shooter in Canada kills 9 people and injures 25 others at a school and home. Sorry, I'm trying to move a little bit quicker right now. It's already been an hour and a half, and it's already tomorrow. It's noon o'clock right now. James Vanderbeek dead at 48. Dawson's Creek stars public battle with colorectal cancer. James Van opened with fans about his heartbreaking health battle after he was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer in 2024. I think my wife said he was, yeah, there he is. Husband, father of 5. In sports, the Olympic Winter Games going on. Here's the medal table. Norway is right now winning the entire continent of the United States of America. Now, if you treated Italy, Switzerland, Germany, Sweden, Austria, France, all that the same way you treat the states, they would be blowing the states out of the water. As I say, make that the EU versus the United States. That's why I'm making a fair fight. Team USA's newest Olympic star is a personal injury attorney in his 50s. Curler Rich Rohanen has become the oldest American athlete in the Winter Olympics history. All he needs is someone to slip and fall. So I guess he's back up. So friends of mine, I've been promoting them. I help them out promote their stuff. Old Northwood wines. If you're a fan of wine, you got to get the Old Northwoods wine. And trust me, this is some good stuff. And up to 50% of profits go to the Benedictine Sisters of Mary, Queen of Apostles. If you get Mother's Reserve, and others like that Cancian Red, where is it at? Shop Our Wines, here it is. Cancian Red, if you get that, up to 50% go to John Cancius, St. John Cancius in Chicago. Help them out. Mother's Reserve, the Benedictine Nuns, more is coming. These go to discernment foundations. So again, and there's more coming. Father Ripper has a label coming out soon. This was cool. This is a good thing about sports in general. During the biathlon, one of the competitors accidentally knocked the ski pole from his opponent, so he gave him his. And he knock it out, and he goes, "You're good. My bad." So everyone was losing their mind. When I say everyone, most of the, how would you say, fake right media. Well, the Daily Show had a fun time with this one. I think they showed Michael Knowles right off the bat losing and go, he hates the country, blah, blah. This is what this guy said.
Brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
And apparently the fake right lost their minds over this. Here's John Root. It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now. Just because I wear the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. That's a logical statement. Oh, I'm sorry. The fake right is the fake left from 4 or 5 years ago. Now everything's just switched. The anti-ICE liberal athletes are already insufferable at the Olympics. If you're not proud to represent the red, white, and blue, stay home. Shut up. This is done. Hey, really? You're upset because he said that. You can love your homeland and not like your government. But these guys, they can't separate the both. Either one, they can't separate the two. This was funny because so Jon Stewart right here is, you don't have, let me fix that. Sorry. So Jon Stewart in this is mocking or laughing about everyone going, oh, it was just in Spanish, how terrible it was in Spanish, because everyone was going, there was not a single word in Spanish. And the funny part about it was he starts going, because you couldn't understand anything was going on. And he goes, apparently no one understands Spanish. And then flip over to ball with the ball, bang, dang, diddy, diddy. But he goes, did anybody understand that? Which is kind of funny. And anyways, there was some good. The Daily Show is fantastic when it's not their team. When it's their team, they're paying to listen to. If you know about what's going on, I've been watching it. The Olympics are using drones. I saw this the first time going, holy cow. You can hear them while they're playing. This I'll play what they're saying. They are incredibly fast, very precise, and there's no shake in their lenses.
For 4 years now, it's actually my first week in the Olympics. So I'm so happy about it. So we are using up to 50 drones. So it means that the drone only weighs 250 grams. So we can go close to the people, but not over them. The drone can go up to 120 kilometers per hour. On this drone, we have some broadcast camera and broadcast transmitter on it. So we can tweak the camera directly from the truck. Sometimes when they miss a pole or something, they are not doing the same line and then you have to adapt. And I would say that it's the hardest part of the job. I don't want to disturb them during the race, and on the slalom you have to be really careful about the pole swinging. So yeah, you have to keep an eye and keep a safety distance between the.
These things are insane how fast they are in it. I think there's another one. Before we get to more drones, the first Haitian at the Olympics, or Winter Olympics. There's a reception for Haiti's first ever cross-country skier to make the Olympics. Stevenson Savard, as he crossed the finish line for his country in Italy. I had no idea Haiti had a cross-country skiing team. So here it is again, the Olympic drone pilots here from Linus, are the best thing that happens in the game. Unsung heroes. The coverage of this year is off another level. It is pretty neat, but also terrifying when you're thinking it's all drones. The drone pilots of the Winter Olympics are again, you can hear them take off. If you're watching any of the we call snowboarding, you can hear them go by. The snowboarder goes by, you can hear the drone follow them. Well, the Olympics, curling. I watched the entire gold medal event on that, and the semifinal leading up to it. It was exciting. Historic run that captivated a nation. Now I brought this up because they're going. Now it's not a nation. Remember, this is a nation, the Federal Republic. Both of those people are from Minnesota. Would it have been fun if the Minnesota state flag was flying up there? The Minnesota state song was playing. They're both Minnesotans. They don't have anything to do with again, what's part of a nation? Language, culture, customs. Heck, you think we're curling down in the Carolinas? Nobody here knows anything about that sport. I still don't, and I'm a sports guy. You could put a gun in my head right now. I cannot tell you what the heck is going on 90% of the time watching curling. And I'm watching it going, they got 3 points. I don't know how. I'm trying to figure it out myself going, okay, this makes, okay, I lost. I thought I had it covered. Nope, don't have a clue. This was fun. How do you find out if you're good at this? What's the conversation look like? Men's luge doubles. One of the most baffling things I've watched. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought it was funny. But like I said, you had to go to Daily Show and watch a couple of their clips. And just an idea of the Olympics, not the Olympics, the halftime in general. Here's one from back in the day you might not have known about.
Still in the wake of the Super Bowl and the Bad Bunny halftime show, something that I think is going to be remembered for a very long time. But today I want to talk to you about a show that I think has been forgotten, and that is a shame because it is absolutely insane, and we're about to relive it. Understand that back in the day, for the longest time, halftime shows for decades were just really, they were marching bands, they were dancers paying tribute to a certain genre of music, and this is Super Bowl. This is not college or high school. This is what the Super Bowl halftime show was, and it was fine. Everything changed in 1992 when Fox, kind of the new cool kid in school, attempted to poach and in fact did 30 million viewers from the Super Bowl in living color. They did like a counter-programming special at the same time where they said, everybody switch over and watch us. And in living color was probably the coolest show on television at the time. So many, many people did. And there's young Jim Carrey on the right. It was really cool. So the NFL said, whoa, 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 whoa. If they're going to try to poach our viewers, we got to come with the firepower at halftime. In comes Michael Jackson, biggest entertainer in the world. Michael Jackson does Super Bowl halftime 93. It's a spectacular show. It's everything Michael on stage you would possibly want it to be. And he really brought the house down. The dancing, the standing there forever, the moonwalking, it was really spectacular. No one was changing the channel to anything from this. But the performances did not stay that way, and you really couldn't. In 1995, though, Disneyland in Southern California was opening a new attraction, Indiana Jones attraction. It's a ride that I've ridden many, many, many times. And for that attraction, Disney had $20 million to market it. So their solution, was to spend that money on, was to do a Super Bowl halftime show promoting the new Indiana Jones attraction. Super Bowl 29 in 1995, January in Miami. It was the Niners of Steve Young versus the Natron Mean, Stan Humphries Chargers. It was a terrible game. Steve Young threw 6 touchdowns. But let's get to halftime, because the halftime show starts. I want you to look at this through the lens of 2026 and what we just saw. This was halftime. It starts with a shirtless, muscular villain wielding a scepter and taking the Vince Lombardi trophy. Here we go, folks.
Bring to me the trophy.
Bring that man the trophy, and bring him who? Patti LaBelle.
Yeah, of course.
Why not? Get her in there. Beautiful stage. And there's Patti LaBelle just doing her thing, sounding great, dancing great, 50 years old. She would say to the New York Times that the stage floor was made from metal grates, and she'd keep getting her high heels stuck in the floor while dancing so she couldn't move. She's dancing in front of skulls on sticks and the whole back set, everything. But here comes our hero. Indiana Jones with Marion Ravenwood parachuting out of the Florida night onto the field as they eventually will make their way up to the stage. And look at this landing. Incredible with the flames and everything. They're going to get on the stage and start fighting henchmen right away. Now, the NFL was concerned about the ability to pull off the live parachute landing, so that shot is an insert. It was pre-taped. This did not happen live. Sorry to ruin some of the magic for you. Incredible deal. So they get up there. They start fighting. Now, lest you think that is Harrison Ford, it was not, nor is it Karen Allen, but the brawl starts immediately, and they're going to make their way up on stage. Eventually, someone's going to be set on fire. Watch this.
These are a couple years before I was born. I remember the game.
Okay. I thought we were throwing a sound on tape there, but do we have it or not? Anyway.
Someone stole the control room.
Yes, they stole. So there. Marion's being, now we got snakes because Indiana's afraid of snakes. So he punches out bald guy to save Marion Ravenwood. And look at that guy's on fire. He's on fire. That's my man, Dale Gerard, who told the New York Times that he was wearing long underwear doused in freezing cold fire gel to withstand the flames. When he falls off stage on fire, he nearly set Patti LaBelle on fire.
Because her heels were stuck and she couldn't
move. All right, and here's the crazy thing. We're not even halfway through the halftime show. There's so much more to come. So Indy gets the trophy. He's got it, no problem. So he and Marion decide to go to a nightclub, which is called Club Disney. Guess who's at the nightclub? Tony Bennett, baby. He's there standing, like they got a table, like a Henry Hill.
Don't leave the trophy.
They're going to watch, Mike. I'm glad you brought that up.
All right.
So Tony's there, and guess who's backing up Tony? Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine. They're there, of course. Now, Indy and Marion decide to put the trophy down and hit the dance floor. But then they become caught up in the moment and kiss, and evil henchmen storm Club Disney.
Oh, no.
Here they are. The trophy. Marion.
See, I think this walked so that the couple getting married with Bad Bunny could run. I really do think they stand on the shoulders of a lot of this. So Indy gets the trophy back, and Patti LaBelle is thrilled and congratulates him. By the way, 28-10 at halftime right now. The Chargers are getting blown out. They have no answer for Rice or Young or anything. Then the show ends. You got to have a grand finale. Tony Bennett and Patti LaBelle sing Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King, which had come out more than 6 months prior, in which neither Tony Bennett nor Patti LaBelle are on the soundtrack, let alone on that song. Yeah. But that song was an Elton John banger, and they start belting it out for the crowd, who I'm sure sings along. Just a shout out also to the Indiana Jones actor. He was played by amusement park actor Brian Friday, who went on to go do stunts in the Spider-Man franchise. And he told the New York Times that he's at the top there with the snake and the trophy, that he wanted to stay and watch the second half of the game. Maybe the Chargers would make a comeback. But no, the whole cast was immediately bussed out of the stadium after the performance. You want to know where they watched the game? The most Miami answer possible. They watched the rest of the game at Don Shula's restaurant in Miami. Marion, Indy, Tony, ostensibly, Patti LaBelle. And in a world where we have tree people walking around, we used to have the henchman getting set on fire by Marion, and this was the show. And then for some reason, there was Lion King music as well. I just want the young people to know and the old people to remember at some point this really happened. And you know what? I think this right here, what we're seeing, was better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I said it. Sorry, Steven Spielberg. This was better. You whiffed on that one, my friend. No swinging monkeys through the trees on this. Just pure action. That was.
Because it's kind of funny. The fake outcry about how bad, the worst halftime ever. Again, no one watched. I remember watching. I watched the game. Someone got as my judge, but how did I never seen this? I remember that game. I remember watching the plays. I still remember some of the plays from that blowout. I still remember the halftime because I don't think they played. I don't think they showed the halftimes. And that wasn't until much later. I mean, the only remember the halftime show. I used to watch all the games, Super Bowls. I mean, I grew up a Bengal. See, 89 Super Bowl. It was Cincinnati, San Francisco. San Francisco wins in the last minute, 19 seconds. Montana pass. Broke my heart as a 9-year-old. I don't remember the halftime, but we went up and said a rosary during halftime. The only one I really remember is the Panther game. Panthers 2003, New England. That was the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction, and we didn't watch it because we were taking a break watching it at all. So like, all right, we got 20 minutes. Let's get some fresh air or something. Walk outside a little bit. I don't remember anybody. We were talking. Yes, it is rugby and Bengals. One time, this was 2001. I went to college in Charleston for a couple year and a half, and I went to the sports bar on Market Street with a friend of mine to watch the games, and Carolina was one of their won one or two games that year, and Cincinnati won 1 or 2 that year. And I had the owner goes, "Who's watching this game?" It was Carolina, Cincinnati. I go, "I am." Guy goes, "That's a fan right there." I go, "Yes, I'm a fan of all teams that suck." Usually, it's good that they started getting better at these towards recently. Anyway, this day in history: Julia Child's The French Chef premieres 1963. There's a movie on it. There's a movie about Jennifer Childs too. It's called 2012. Whitney Houston died at age 48. I didn't know she died at 48. There's a lot of people who died at 48 recently now, it seems. 2011, Egyptian President Mubarak stepped down after nearly 30 years of power. 1990, Nelson Mandela was released after 27 years in prison. 1889, the Reverend Barbara Harris of the Protestant Episcopal Church became the first female pretend bishop of the Anglican community. They were woke before it was woke. 1975, British politician Margaret Thatcher was elected leader of the Conservative Party, replacing Edward Heath. 1969, Jennifer Aniston was born. 1964, Sarah, I can see Russia from my house, Palin, was born in Idaho. 1945, the Yalta Conference between Allied leaders of World War II came to a close. 1929, Benito Mussolini of Italy and Pietro Gasparri of Vatican signed the Lateran Treaty, recognizing papal sovereignty over Vatican City and enclave in Rome after he took the papal states. 1858, in the French town of Lourdes, 14-year-old Bernadette Soubirous, a miller's daughter, had the first had visions of the Virgin Mary that were authenticated by Pope Pius IX in 1862. 1843, inventor Thomas Edison was born in Ohio. I almost couldn't pronounce that. 1753, Pennsylvania Hospital, the first hospital of these United States, began admitting patients. It was co-founded by Benjamin Franklin. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Anyway, thank you guys for staying up so late. Isn't the Lion King based on Macbeth? I have no idea on that one. I joke with my wife. I'll start trying to sing the opening tune. Anyway, God love you. Have a great rest of the day. Click like, subscribe, all that jazz beneath. It's late, 12:20 a.m. my time. Let me get some other things done, and then I'm going to bed myself. Great night. Thank you for all that. Take care. Have a great rest of the night. I think I'm starting a new show tomorrow, too. So we'll do Clown Planet on Friday night. God love you. Have a great night.